How's it going, everyone? My name is Ariel, and today we are going to be unboxing the Dran Dagger deck set from Takara Tomy. This is the Korean version, as you will see. I got this on Amazon, but that doesn't really matter. The codes won't work on the app, but I'm not really too bothered about that. Dran Dagger is one of my favorite bays, even though it is kind of an old release at this point. But I just wanted to do a video regardless. So yeah, let's take a look at the front of the box. See Dran Dagger front and center. And it tells you the 3 bays that comes in this set. It is a deck set. So it comes with Dran Dagger, of course, 460 Rush. And it has this green recolor of Shark Edge. A lot of people love using this one. This is the second release of Shark Edge by Takara Tomy, I believe. Outside of the random booster it was introduced in. And it comes on 380 flat. And it has the purple Night Shield recolor on 580 taper. Here's the box. It's Takara Tomy logo, just in case anybody doubts the authenticity. This is a real product. It's just the Korean release of it from Amazon. And you can see the parts. There's Jackson Cross, or Common X, Blader X, the owner of Dran Dagger, and the full list of parts for all 3 bays that are included. It does give a suggested combo on the bottom as well, which is Night Shield 460 flat. I might test that out just to see. Might be good for anti-attack, if anything. And this is the Hell's Chain deck set. Forgot the bays that come in that one. I don't have that one yet. I might get it one day, I don't know. But Dran Dagger is my favorite, so out of the 2. So without further ado, let's get into this right now. I don't know if you can see it. It comes with a lot of tape. Luckily, I am once again joined by my trusty scissors. I'm going to try to do it from this angle. If not, I'll just pause the recording, because I don't want to mess up the box. I still haven't put any of the boxes on my wall or anything, but I will get around to it one day. I swear. There we go. And here are all the parts. I'll just have this in the background. And here are all the parts. This is a much longer process than I thought this would be, but I'm almost there. That took longer than expected, but we have all the parts out. So I'm just going to do a quick rundown of each of the parts, starting with this purple taper. See if I can zoom in, get it to focus a little bit better. This is taper, obviously it's a balance type bit. This is the bit that originally released on Hell's Scythe, or Scythe Incendio. Depending on how you launch it, it's going to be either calm or aggressive, kind of like point, but point is a little bit calmer due to the little point on in the center. But this does come in a nice kind of almost dark lavender color. Reminds me of the one that comes on like Tusk Mammoth from Hasbro. It's a slightly different shade, but it's very similar. For the ratchet, of course, like I said, we have 580. Originally released with Viper Tail. We have also gotten it on Whale Wave. But this is now a purple color of it. Not a bad ratchet. if you like using the taller heights. 560, 580, they have, and 570 of course, they have decent burst resistance. And here is the defense blade, the first defense blade Knight Shield, in this grape purple recolor. Like, it almost looks like candy, to be honest. Kind of reminds me of a grape Jolly Rancher. I don't think it'll taste the same as that, though. Let me know how you find the flavor of this thing, but it does look pretty nice. I'll go ahead and put it together just to see how it looks. It is a pretty interesting combo too. Knight Shield 580 taper. I would say this is a balanced type combo. Very interested to see how this operates. Next up, we're going to take a look at Shark Edges combo. We've got the flat bit, the very first bit ever released with Dran's sword. This is an attack type bit, and even though this bit is almost 2 years old at this point, it is very solid for attack. Has more stamina than something like Excel or Gear Flat, and a little bit more aggression than Rush, which also comes in this set. But it is the epitome of attack for Beyblade X. Good burst resistance. And in this very light, like yellow-green color. Kind of matches the Beyblade X packaging over here, actually. You can see it. The packaging looks darker on camera, I think, because of the shadows, but it's kind of similar. For the ratchet, again, we have 380, another kind of tall height ratchet. This one's more like a teal. It's a little bit lighter off camera. It looks more blue on the screen. I'm not sure how well it's capturing the color, but it does look more like a light blue, almost a teal color. Very interesting color choice for this bay. Because here is the ratchet, the blade. Shark Edge, of course, one of the top attack type blades. Again, this was released all the way at the beginning of Beyblade X, and it is still being used in tournaments. Still doing very well. In this Mountain Dew green color. It is still a fan favorite. I have like 3 Shark Edges already. This is going to be my 3rd one. But this is my first green one. And it does look nice. So here's the full combo. Our green Mountain Dew Shark. And last but not least, I finally get to talk about Dran Dagger. Again, one of my favorite bays of Beyblade X. Starting with what is probably my favorite attack type bit. This is Rush. As we all know, Rush has less gears on the base here, with 10 instead of the standard, I think, what is it, 12 or 14, which helps it conserve stamina on the extreme line, and then has the burst resistance and the more narrow shape to help with stamina. Because this is Rush and not like low Rush, it does tilt quite a bit, especially towards the end of battle. Low Rush has a lower center of gravity to help prevent that, but this is still, a top tier competitive part. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for the ratchet, which is 460. It's not terrible, but the 4-sided ratchets do tend to be a little bit burst prone, especially with smaller blades. So you definitely have to be careful with that if you plan on using it. Personally, I use 460 only on Cobalt Dragoon, on Glide as a counter to Wizard Rod on Ball. But that is basically just because Dragoon is kind of a wider blade, so it does help to not leave the protrusions on the ratchet exposed. If it goes up against something like Shark Edge, though, I don't think it's going to be able to recover from that. But otherwise, 460 isn't terrible. It's another part that first released with Hell Scythe as part of the first wave of Beyblade X, almost 2 years ago now. So it's not exactly a newer part, but it's still good. And last, of course, but definitely not least, we've got Dran Dagger, the second variation to the Dran base after Dran's sword. Of course, you know the main difference between Dagger and the others, Sword and Buster. The others tend to focus more on smash attack, while Dran Dagger is designed for a barrage attack. I wouldn't say it's good to use against, defense or stamina types, but it is very good against high recoil attack types. The barrage shape does help to basically stop the attackers in their tracks and drain their stamina by turning their own recoil against them. It's actually kind of fun to watch. If you put it up against Dran's sword or Shark, which I will be doing in this video, then it'll be pretty easy to see. Here's the underside. Of course, this is BX, so the gear chip rotates. Kind of hate that the UX ones don't do that. But yeah, this is the shiniest Dran Dagger I have now because it's brand new. I have another one I haven't used yet, but it's oxidized already, so it's not quite as shiny. Here is the full combo. So without further ado, let's get to some test battles already. I'm kind of curious to see how these guys work. So I think for the first battle, we're going to have these two going up against each other, Shark and Knight. And then I'll have Dran Dagger take on both of them. Just do a few test battles. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Yep, that's Shark. That's stamina though. And Knight succeeds in defending. Shark Edge is a go big or go home kind of blade. And an extreme finish for Knight Shield. On this taper setup, it's actually not bad. I kind of like it. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, unfortunately, Shark does need a lower height to really reach its potential. The design of the blade, if you see from the side, it is designed to attack from below. So having it on an 80 height with a regular height bit is not the way to go, unfortunately. Let's do Knight versus Dran, so we can see how Dran Dagger works here. Like I said, the barrage attacks aren't really all that useful for pure attack. Oh, is it gonna... I think it's gonna destabilize it though. I think Dagger just barely won that by spin finish. But very, very close. another extreme. That's the second extreme finish that Knight has gotten. Alrighty. Let's put Dran up against Shark, just so you can see what I'm talking about. 3, 2, 1, go shoot! Go shoot! I'm gonna chalk that up to wrong place at the wrong time. Ooh, big cup. And Dagger takes the L there. Yeah, unfortunately, Rush does have that tilting problem. Oh, Shark isn't doing too bad, actually. Even on the 80 height. Oh! But that is the downside to having a taller height. Unfortunately. Like I said, Shark is really meant for attacks from below anyway. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this video. Just a quick unboxing. I am going to be doing more battles with these guys in the near future probably. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and some test battles here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later, Bladers.